I graduated theater school and I already told myself, I'm gonna be in Hollywood. How is that even possible?
1, 2, 3, let's switch this up.
Hi honeys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia, also known as your fave social media girl. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe. You can also hit the notification bell button so you know every single time that I post, which is on Happy New Year! It is officially 2022. This is my first video for 2022, and I think it's like a great video to start off with. It's just all about goals and acting. We're gonna tie all that together because this is something that I've actually done every single year since I've been out of theater school. I've always sort of started off the year with some goals and just kind of figuring out what I wanna do in terms of acting, what direction I wanna follow into. And so I just thought this be a great way to share sort of that insight with all of you honeys. Disclaimer, this is not one of those videos that's like your cliche, like new year, new me bullshit. I don't believe in that. I think every year you are you. I think every year you just evolve. I'm not trying to sell some sort of bullshit product to you. This is just something that I do, and I think it's a great way to sort of get yourself in check and in tune with what your career acting goals are and how you want to proceed for the entire year. Okay, so let's get started with what are goals and why are they even useful? Like I said, it's not a new year, new me. It's not a resolution. It's not a to-do list. Goals for me is just something that I like to create so I know what is my end product. What am I striving for? How do I get to that end product? What is like the direction I want to follow into? And this is something I do not just for acting, but just for everything in general. But for me, acting is probably the one that has the biggest goals, because for me, this is my career, this is my life. So I put a lot of like blood, sweat, and tears into it. And I want to know, how do I want to move forward with it? Why are they useful? Well, I think that when you don't have an goal that you want to strive for me personally, I get really lost in how I want to get there. I have kind of no sense of direction. I don't really have sense of a sort of how long this is going to take me. How do I want to proceed with it? When you have the goal, I feel like it becomes more concrete because then it also helps you sort of decide what exactly do I want to do. For example, with my YouTube channel, when people would ask me, what is my channel about? In the beginning, when I wasn't sure and I was just sort of doing like anything and everything every week, because I never sat down and like created goals of like, what is the goal of my YouTube channel? Is this something I just want to do for fun and not tell people about it? Do I actually want to make a career out of it? Do I actually want to entertain people? Do I want to help people? Because I never had no necessarily goal, I could never actually tell people what exactly my channel was about. And that made it really difficult for me to actually plan a video every week because I had no idea what the end product of my YouTube channel was supposed to be. What did I want it to become? Same thing is for acting. When I didn't have any sort of sense of direction that I wanted to follow, it made it really difficult for me to sort of work towards what I want to achieve in my acting career. And then I get really frustrated, and then next thing you know, the whole year went by and I didn't get anywhere with the acting. That's why I feel like goals are really useful, because whether you're just starting out in this business, you're 20 years into it, or you're just a few years, or you're just even thinking about it maybe, like the bottom line is having goals really helps you sort of create a package for yourself, and then you can understand where you're trying to go with the acting. I wanted to share with you honeys what are my goals, because I feel like me sharing what my goals are might actually help you a little bit figure out what your goals are. So I always like to look at, how did my year go in terms of acting? What have I have accomplished and what I have not accomplished in terms of like my past goals? And then I try to reassess, why were those things accomplished but the other things were not accomplished? Well, first of all, the last 2 years, 2020 and 2021, have been obviously stopped with COVID and the pandemic. If there's anything that I learned in those 2 years, is that life can literally change at any moment. It could throw anything at you and you have no choice but to adapt to it and just work with it. And that's hard. I found it really hard because I also don't like change, and I like having a schedule and a structure that I get to follow. So when something new out of nowhere gets thrown at me, I feel very lost and I start kind of panicking and I have anxiety. So that's something I had to work with. It did really help me when it came to auditions, because auditions do come out of nowhere and you need to be able to adapt. That's why for me, these goals really help me sort of weasel around things that get thrown at all the time. So last year for my goals, definitely getting an agent was number one. and really building my entire portfolio. So those two were my biggest things that I wanted to do. I could have added more goals, but because we were still in the pandemic, and at the time when I was making these goals, we were still in an emergency lockdown for 4 months and probably were going to continue into the new year with the lockdown, which we did. I didn't want to put a lot of pressure on myself by adding all these goals where I'm like, realistically, I don't even know how this is going to happen because I don't even know where we're going to reopen again. But I knew an agent was something that was possible for me to get because, again, I don't have to do anything for it except for apply for my home. And the other one was working on my portfolio, which I was able to do because commercial photography was still allowed during the lockdown. Building my resume, just not much is required except for me and a computer. And student films were allowed to film, so I was allowed to do student films in order to build my demo reel and my whole entire package portfolio. Those two goals did happen for me, which I was really excited about. Then once I got an agent, I guess my new goal started in September was, now that I have an agent, I want to make a really good mark with myself and my agent. I want to get myself really out there with casting directors. I want to get really noticed for the next couple of months until everything shuts down because it'll be Christmas season. So I really wanted to get myself out there. And I did. September, I auditioned a lot. October was an insane month. I probably was getting 4 to 5 auditions a week. Now we are in the new year and my new goals, I guess the big ones, one of them, number one, is that I want to start making acting an actual financial career. I want to start making money financially from this. I want to start booking things, and I want to start booking things that will actually take me out of my serving job. That is something that I'm really working on and manifesting, that the job that I book is going to be huge. It's going to be a great job. And I am manifesting that this job is actually going to take me out of my serving job. And on top of that, it's going to kickstart my career. I know that sounds really big because that's like every actor's dream. I get that. But that's something that I feel like I am ready for. I'm giving out great auditions. I'm getting some callbacks. So that's why for me, that's like probably my biggest goal. My other one is actually to grow a really, really comfortable, very kind of personal relationship with my agent. When I mean personal, I don't mean like she needs to know all my deepest, darkest secrets and I need to know everything about her. No, but I actually want to be able to feel 1000% comfortable that if I have to call her, I don't get anxiety about it. I can have a chat with her at any point in time. I want to be able to grow and like really form a really beautiful relationship with her. The booking is something I really want to do in the first half of the year because I want to show her that I'm really serious about this. And I really want to show her that I'm ready to work and I'm giving her good stuff. Another goal that I have is I actually want to get back into acting classes. Now that I am auditioning for big union stuff, and now that I have like a legit agent, I need to continue growing my craft. There are things that I feel like I do in my auditions that I feel like need to get brushed up a little bit with an acting teacher. And I want to be able to find a teacher that I actually can call my mentor and that I can also call them at any point in time and say, hey, I have a self-tape due. It's a very big one. I need your help. And they can comfortably help me out without feeling this weird sort of like teacher-student sort of relationship. Like it could be kind of like we're on the same level, you're just coaching me, you're mentoring me, and you're helping me. So those are like, I'd say my big ones that I really want to work on. There's little ones in between there, but I don't want to give them an actual goal because I'm not sure what's going to happen right now, to be honest, with Toronto per se. We may be going into another lockdown because we have a lot of cases. So for me to kind of add more little goals is going to be hard. So that's where I kind of leave it at that. And then maybe in a month or two, I'll come back into it and maybe like change a few things, tweak up a few little goals, maybe add another one, maybe take one of them away. I don't know. My last and obviously most important point is how to create your acting goals. You can just sit down and write them all out, yes. But I think it's such a societal thing and such of this pressure of like this new year, new me, you have to create goals. You don't have to do them if you don't want to. On top of that, you don't have to do them in the new year. Do whenever you feel like you're ready to do it. I think for now, the first thing you want to do is reassess of what is acting to you, how do you want to go about it, and what stage of your acting career are you at? I say this because you want to be realistic when it comes to these goals. I used to not be realistic. I remember when I left theater school, well, not left, I graduated. I graduated theater school and I already told myself, I'm gonna be in Hollywood. Please, please, please be realistic with your goals. Do not put pressure on yourself, okay? The reason why I say this is because when I was not doing realistic goals, I actually beat myself up really badly for the whole year by saying, Anna, what the heck? You're such a shit actor. You don't know what you're doing. You're so bad. You're never going to become one because you didn't achieve these goals. Well, how is that even possible? Like, I'm not going to be able to achieve them because I haven't even done step A, B, and C, D, and I'm already thinking about XYZ. Like, it doesn't make any sense. When it comes to reassessing what stage you're at when it comes to your acting career, think about where exactly are you at. Let's take it that time when I was 18 and I was, in theater school, freshly coming out of it, whatever. I had no resume. I had no demo. I did not have professional headshots. Realistically, do you think I would have gotten an agent? No. I think my first couple of goals should have been get professional headshots because I can't apply to agencies without them. Work on my demo, aka meaning audition for student films. Build my resume, which would also be meaning going out for unpaid work so I can add credits into my resume and make it look more full. And of course, gain experience. Like, that should have been my huge number one goal. But I didn't make any of that because I was so caught up with this whole thing of like trying to become big and famous that I actually wasted a whole year on trying to do that instead of actually saving money to get headshots and doing my demo and blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's not supposed to work out because it's not meant to happen for you right now. Doesn't mean it's not gonna happen at all. No, it just means that it's just not your time and there's nothing wrong with that. So sit down and think about what acting means for you, what stage you're at, and how you want to proceed with it. Be realistic. Don't put pressure on yourself. Don't come up with like 27 goals. Guys, like, realistically, like, you're not gonna achieve all 27. I mean, I'd be surprised if you did. And if you did, comment below. You don't need 27 goals. I only have 3. And even that, I'm like, that's a little already, like, that's my max. Because those 3 goals are huge. Like, those are huge 3 things to work on in 1 year. You can add little ones here and there, but you should have no more than 3 to 5 major goals that you want to work on. Because you don't want to overwork yourself. Honeys, I literally ranted for like 25 minutes. I'm really excited that I did this because speaking to you, honeys, made me also kind of say my goals out loud and manifest them. And I felt like saying them out loud allowed me to really sort of put them, set them in stone. Is that a saying? I don't know, but like really write them in stone, set them in stone. Just make sure that they really are happening. I have no idea what I'm saying. I'm excited for the new year to see. I really do feel like I'm gonna book something really big. I really feel like this year is going to be the year of my acting. I think it's gonna be a year of lots of booking. I think it's gonna be a year of me finally quitting my serving job that I absolutely hate with a burning passion. Anyways, honey, I would love to hear about your goals. I wanna know your goals. If they're not private. If they're not private, please comment below because I'd love to hear your goals. I'd love to chat with you, all of you, about them. And it's just fun to hear what people's acting goals are, or just any goals in general. Anyways, honeys, don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Anastasia_PRO. I love you all, honeys. Happy New Year, happy 2022, and wishing you all the best. See you next Friday. Bye, honeys.